Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today we've got a video on some of the small restorations we do around the ship. As the museum's curator, I want our visitors to experience the ship as if they're getting some secret behind-the-scenes access that they shouldn't get. As if they time traveled back in time to when the ship was last active, but the crew is all off on liberty, and they get to see the ship completely intact with like uniforms still hanging up and things like that. That is my ideal. A couple of museum ships have been able to get there. Ships like Slater and Cod are very, very well restored. They're significantly smaller than the Battleship. They don't have 1,600 rooms to restore, but given enough time and enough access to other contemporary ships, we will be able to strip off all the parts we need to make this one feel alive again. And so we're working on that room by room. So one of the things that drives me crazy is finding empty brackets around the ship. I've worked on a couple of museum ships now, so I largely know what the various brackets are for. But when I came to New Jersey, this weird, almost triangular shaped bracket was in a lot of different berthing compartments. There's a couple in the mess decks. They're in some weird places, and I couldn't figure out what was supposed to mount here for the longest time. We are in one of the ship's fire rooms right now, in the boiler repair shop of fire room number 2. And it seems like a weird, small thing for the Navy to remove entirely from the ship. So we start to look in nearby brackets and things like that. And here you can see that the Navy left a lot of their original documentation, even some tools and things right here, but we don't see the thing that fits there. So we go to the next closest cabinet. So these shelves are one compartment over, and they've got a lot of the bolts and things for the CO2 suppression system, the brackets that would have held the air flasks, and some other things like that. They're not like likely to be reused. Now looking over here, on this shelf, we've got some ash and cigarette butts. And then look at this can. On one side it says BR Shop, which is where we are. And look at that mounting bracket. Now you can tell that this is discolored, so it has a lid that goes with it. Check this out, there's still some cigarette butts and ash in there. That almost certainly dates back to when the ship was actually in service. So this is what the Navy would call a butt kit. Let's put it back in place and we'll talk about what it's for. Sure enough, it locks right into place. Here we've got a light and a phone that indicate that there used to be a desk here. This used to be someone's office. You can see their bookshelf there. They would have likely had a chair here. It's been partially removed. But remember, throughout the ship's entire career, smoking was allowed on board. There are certainly times and places when it's not allowed. You can't smoke in the magazines. There are times when the smoking lamp is out, or when the smoking lamp is only lit in specific areas on the ship, like the mess decks or the fan tail or something like that. We've done other videos in the past when we talk about the smoking lamp and whatnot, but smoking is allowed on board, so you need a place to dispose of the ash, the butts, those sorts of things. You don't want to just throw it in a regular trash can, especially here in the engine rooms where you might have oily rags and things like that in the trash. It's also interesting, these are very easily removable because you have to come around and collect that and dump them out periodically. Knowing the Navy, it might very well have been a daily or a weekly thing. So this one was easy to find its home because it's actually still labeled like that. And if it wasn't labeled, I would probably take it from here, which is a space that is not on the tour route, and then put it up for display in one of those spaces on the tour route that's missing its. However, this one is labeled and it was more or less in its proper context when we found it. So the archaeologist in me feels compelled to leave it right here where it originally belonged. And as we're able to find more on future strip trips and other things like that, we'll certainly put these back in other places on the ship where they're actually visible to visitors, because it's a teachable moment. It can teach about the culture when the ship was in service, that smoking was still okay then. It was kind of expected. What do you guys think? Do you think it's better in its proper context where it would have been when the ship was in service, better in the condition where we found it so that somebody else can come down and find it in the future, some future curator of this museum, or better being out in a similar bracket out on the tour route where visitors can ski it, even though it's got the wrong thing stenciled on it? Let us know in the comment section down below what you think is the more valuable way to preserve this. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to donate. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about the ship and our channel. Thanks for watching.